Hey, welcome back everybody. Well, if you thought the last bonus video was bad, brace yourselves, this one's going to get even worse as we see what happens when our characters collect several losses. We're going to see the worst possible ending that I know of. And as per usual, I'm going to keep quiet for a little bit. Just look at how much it takes to bring Lorna down. Really impressed by her strength. Look, you see how they're just ganging up on her. It's sad. It's sad. But no, we're just going to see them put up the good fight in vain, and eventually we're going to see the final epilogue. But before that, keep your eyes around the 2-minute mark. Something interesting is going to happen with Keith and the Vampire Lord, so be back around that time. And I didn't know that could happen, but there you go. He got a level up, and a pretty good one at that. So now watch out for this. Now he took out Keith, and look, Keith became a vampire, or a zombie more like, but he's an enemy unit now, out of our control, with his same attack and defense stats, and equipment. So that could be kind of dangerous. Yeah. Didn't know that that was a thing that could happen. So apparently if the Vampire Lord takes out one of your commanders, he can bring them over to the dark side. But we're going to come back to that. Now for Keith's own good, we're going to send Cherie in. Who better to put him down? It's for the best. And you see, because only she could stand up to his attack. Well, her and Elwyn. So there you go. He died twice. You know, it's a good thing that Elwyn can't die or be defeated, because at this point nobody is strong enough to take him on anyway. You know, I gave him a fair shake there, and that's what became of it. Liana also is going to be tough for them to take out at this point, because she has a natural strength against the demons and undead, so even with her relatively low stats, they can't really stand up to her. Same with Cherie, but just hoping that the bullets can get a random hit in, and they did. I know it sounds terrible, I'm hoping that they get defeated, but again, it's just for the sake of seeing the other outcome. You know, I don't want to let them get hurt, but this is the price we pay for the most comprehensive view of this game possible, so I hope somebody out there appreciates it. I do feel like a terrible person right now. See anything different about the results screen here? That's hilarious. Sorry, Keith. I didn't know. Oh, really? Lester was the weakest link out of everybody? I I guess so, because that's who he went for. Oh man. Sorry, Les. So yeah, as the bloodbath continues to spill over, we're just gonna watch them work. That is the Imperial Knights. Now, at this point, I'm just gonna leave in all the little extra dialogue things that you would normally miss if you're playing pretty good. So, oh, that sucks. That's terrible. And I think she'll have some extra dialogue with Leon. Yeah. So unfortunate. Oh man. But anyway, I'll be back around the 8.5-minute mark where we actually take a look at the epilogue to see what's actually changed. So no more commentary until then. If you just want to keep watching the extra scenes, be my guest. That's why I left it in here. But I will be catching you guys again the 8-minute 30-second mark. See you then. Oh, welcome, Elwyn. I wasn't much of a hero during the war, but at least I was able to make it back safely. Huh. My father keeps yelling at me to train, but luckily he's away at the moment, so it's nice and quiet in the mansion. Oh, Scott, what's become of you? It seems I'll have to go on another journey because my father ordered me to. If we meet during our travels, I'm sure I'll wind up in your debt again. Oh, this doesn't sound like the one-shot Scott we know, does it? Oh, what a difference a few losses can make, huh? Scott, who had gained little from these battles, returned to Salwarah. Oh man, I'm already starting to feel terrible. His parents, who had looked forward in earnest to their son's maturity, were not able to hide their disappointment with his lack of progress. Ugh. Yeah, I guess I had something to do with that. Scott, who was nearly useless, soon found himself journeying once again at his father's behest. Okay, now that's going too far. He was far from useless. When he returned to Salwarah 3 years later, he found the town under attack by a horde of monsters, remnants from the war. Oh man. Scott fought with all of his might, but it was all he could do just to defend himself. Oh man, make him sound like a little snot nose over here. They say that after having seen the devastation of the village with his own eyes and feeling ashamed of his inexperience, he left without saying a word. Oh man. Oh, got it down in the pits here. Ooh, it just hurts you, don't it? Yeah, so hopefully I'm showing you all this so you don't have to see it for yourselves. Yeah, don't lose. At least don't lose 3 times, because apparently 3 is a lot. I didn't know. Oh, Elwyn, you came. Don't you think it's nice and quiet now that most of the castle soldiers are out? Okay, so that's the same. During the war, I realized how weak I really am. Thanks to me, the battles were tough and it was hard on everyone. Wow. That was a big shock, but I'm really glad I was able to meet you all. It was a lot of fun. Never thought I'd hear her say something like that. You're going on another journey, right, Elwyn? I hope we meet again someday. Wow. Cherie, having suffered more defeats than she had expected, seemed depressed for a time. Yeah, it sounds like it. Calling herself weak? That's an extreme. But thanks to her inherently cheerful personality and the consolation of her many great victories, she soon returned to her normal self. Well, that's good. Can't keep a good soldier down for too long. Resolved to study defensive tactics, she left the castle on a journey. But, lacking the patience for such techniques, she soon abandoned them. Yeah, that sounds like Princess. She later succeeded in defeating a great dragon, but returned to the castle gravely injured. She miraculously survived, but having not learned her lesson yet, she is biding her time for the chance to escape the castle again. Yeah. Because you know what they say about old dogs. Ugh. Well, I knew her story was going to end too poorly because she's sort of the central character. And she's a descendant of light, so I mean, you know. Then again, Leon was too, and let's see what happened with him. Oh, Sir Elwyn, thank you for all your help. Presently, the castle soldiers are away rebuilding the damaged towns. As usual, the princess is pretending to be a tomboy, but she seems to have settled down quite a bit since you first met each other. Yeah, because you got tired getting spanked around, apparently. Everyone here is relieved about that, but the truth is, I sense it is just the calm before the storm. Oh, it's time for me to go help out too. Please excuse me. So let's see what happened to old Keith. I know he didn't get married now. Oh, 4 losses. Oh man. They were expected to be the finest flying unit in the continent, but they returned him as whispers of cowardice. What? Okay, if you go flying head first. Anyway, after returning to town, Keith put in all his effort to help rebuild. And before long, Kalsar showed signs of revival. That's good. Afterwards, in order to make the world safer, he led an offensive to rid the land of the remaining monsters. There you go. It's not going to work out well for him, but there you go. However, his strategies having done nothing but backfire, the end result was a net loss. How so? One day he attempted to rescue a beautiful woman who was being chased by monsters, but as he was no match for them, the woman got killed. His wife-to-be. Oh man. It is said that, ashamed of his lack of ability, Keith began wandering by himself. I thought I was going to say he killed himself at first. Like, oh, this is going to get really, really brutal. Still, that's terrible though. And you see what a few losses can do to you? I mean, I guess it was the shot to the morale that really did them in. And it just goes to show there's a valuable lesson here. You can only accomplish so much in life if you don't believe in yourself. Faith gets you everywhere. But anyway, Elwyn, thanks for coming all the way out here to Estole. The people of this temple were all very nice and would do so much for me. So many innocent people got hurt while I was being controlled by Bowser. I'm planning to stay here and work to help people. Yes, Leon had a gentle heart. When I imagine if he hadn't been an Imperial General. I'm alright. Anyway, there are many things that I need to get done. Take care. Yeah, about Larna, what's gonna happen? With her 4 losses. Sadly, Larna's mental anguish over harming innocent people while being manipulated by Bowser had not yet healed. As a result, in order to help alleviate her pain, she became a sister at the Great Temple of Light in Estole. There she spent each day working towards the happiness of people. But there will be no happiness for her, will there? Will there? One day a plague began sweeping across the continent. Estole, not surprisingly, also felt the effects of this terrible plague. So last time I made them blind, what about this time? But thanks to Larna's tireless research, a healing potion was created. It was not all that effective, but was able to lower the death rate a little bit. Just a scotch, just a scooch. Larna was dubbed a mirror of the sisters for her actions. What does that mean? A mirror of the sisters. Sounds kind of nebulous. Very esoteric. So I guess she still got a little bit of credit, a little recognition, but not on the same scale. Oh, hello, Sir Elwyn. Because I fought so much back then, I don't even want to hold a sword anymore. I think I'll spend the rest of my years at ease while teaching swordsmanship to the children of this town. Just like before. But I hope to live someday in a world where one doesn't need to know how to use a sword. I'm confident that you can make that happen, Elwyn. Thank you for such fond memories. Aaron, I apologize in advance, this isn't going to go well. But only 3 losses. Having returned to town, Aaron resumed his life of retirement. Aaron, who still felt like he could never lose to youth, opened a fencing school for children whom he adored. Ah, yes. There he not only taught the art of swordsmanship and built up minds and bodies, he tried to cultivate sound hearts as well. But all was not well with Aaron. His training school was a success and he gathered many disciples. Okay, I was not expecting that. But with his wounds reopened, he fell down one day and with many students looking on, silently passed away. However, it is said that being able to die while surrounded by children rather than on the battlefield made him truly happy. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I was expecting, so maybe this isn't the worst endings. Maybe you have to get more losses. If that's the case, I'm done. I'm not going to get them killed anymore. I feel bad enough as it is, and I don't know how many it would take to get the worst endings. But I really was expecting something worse for him, like, his school opened up and he had no admittance, just completely shunned by the community. Anyway, Lester's up. Hey, who said you could come in here? What the? Well, if it isn't Elwyn. A lot has happened, so I decided to stay by Jessica's side again for a while. Although it was only for a short time, I'm really glad to have known you. I think of you like a true brother. Oh yeah, go see Jessica. Hayne should be doing research with her right now. They both wanted to see you. Well, take care of yourself. And I'm sure his return to pirating will be anything but a success. We'll see though. Having lost his self-confidence during the fighting, he returned meekly to Jessica. After a time, he disappeared into town, hoping to live a respectable life. He's not gonna find it. However, having become weak, the interactions of society were difficult for him and he became lonely. He somehow managed for a time, but soon returned to Jessica. Making him sound like a little lost puppy dog. Jessica was amazed at this, but could not reject him, as one might expect. Like long ago, she put him to work as a guard at Raw River. Oh wow, this is taking a very, very bad turn. As for Lester, he believed himself to be Jessica's bodyguard, but in actuality, the reverse was true. Oh, taking every ounce of respect away from this man. So, oh. Okay, people died with Larna, so that's debatable, but I think he actually had the worst epilogue so far. Who's there? Oh, Elwyn! You came at a good time. Take a look at this. To us wizards, this is a treasure trove of knowledge. Thanks to Jessica, my magic skills have really improved. Oh, I feel so bad for Lester right now. But I don't want to use magic for fighting anymore, so that's why I'm researching magic that can help people. Jessica's inside, so I'll go call her. Wait here, alright? Okay, let's see how this goes. He had, what, 3 losses probably? Yep. Hayne had confidence in his own magic, but because of his poor performance during the war, he eventually realized his lack of experience. So Hayne became an apprentice of Jessica and studied various kinds of magic under her. And then, eventually, he too started to acquire some power and became able to control intermediate level magic, which gave him confidence. Until something happened. Because of this, he wanted to try a spell that Jessica had told him to stay away from, and so in secret, he tried casting the magic. Oh, this won't end well. It was a forbidden spell that summoned a mighty demon. Hayne, who had failed to control the monster, was dragged into the netherworld. Oh, okay. I was expecting something like this, only because I've played Langrisser 4, and it's actually directly ties into that game, so at this point, unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to make it into Langrisser 4, at least I don't know if I'll get that far into it, but if I do, we'll definitely see that. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Owen? A year has already passed since the war. Time really flies, doesn't it? Thanks to you, the endless struggle between light and darkness has finally come to an end. I guess Egbert was testing us, the descendants of light. Lately I've been thinking that if I had been able to surpass my limitations, maybe we could have destroyed the darkness. I sometimes wonder if Alhazard was created as a common enemy to help unite people. I'm overanalyzing, aren't I? But regardless, it was thanks to you that peace has now returned to the world. Hope you guys don't mind sitting through all this again, but I've finally been relieved of my duty to guide the descendants of light, so I think I'll just live life as an ordinary woman now. Thank you so much for everything. A little bit redundant, but hey, it's not like we're going to sit through it again. With the curtain finally fallen on the constant conflict over Langrisser, she was liberated from the fate of leading the descendants of light. And only 3 losses somehow. Jessica had experienced numerous crises, but in her own way she ended up proving the greatness of magic. Believing that magic shouldn't be used just to hurt others, she resumed her research in a new direction after returning to her Raw River laboratory. What do you mean? We cast plenty of healing magic. Support magic. Despite long, arduous research, she felt that no answer would ever be forthcoming, but without realizing it, she had done quite a lot of magic research. Let's see where this leads. After condensing it all into a magic book, she vacated the laboratory and left on a quest for knowledge to train her mind. Oh, did she leave Lester behind? What will he ever do without her? According to them. I don't get this, so you... Uh-oh. Elwyn, thanks for all the things you've done for us. Because of you, happiness has once again returned to the land. I'm going to build an orphanage and take care of the war orphans from now on. Just like before. Now that Langrisser and Alhazard are gone, there's nothing left for me, so I feel that this is the least I can do. So you're finally leaving. You're going back to the inn, right? I'll go with you for part of the way. When you return to this village someday, please make sure to come see me, alright? Take care. Yeah, she's not going with him in this inning either. We did expect this, though. Because she lost 3 times because of us. Returning to her home village, Liana started an orphanage for those who had lost their parents during the war. However, there was no one at that time who would finance such an unprofitable enterprise. Yeah, orphanage... anyway. But then a well-mannered man who had been wooing her promised to finance it if she married him. It's always a catch. Liana, who was pure of heart and didn't know how to be wary of people, married him. Oh, so he's going to be a scumbag, right? But the man had never intended to finance the orphanage from the very beginning. He was only using her. Oh man, that sucks. That really sucks. Liana, finally realizing that she had been tricked, grew tired of her life and is said to have gone on a journey alone. Oh, I feel terrible. That's pretty bad too. Her, Hayne, and Lester got it the worst, I think. I mean, sure, Aaron lost his life, but he was elder anyway, and you know, he died with a smile on his face. Some people died because of Lorna, but actually she saved lives. They were going to die even without her, so I think those 3 got it the worst out of anybody. And of course, Elwyn here, just on top of the mountain, as always. And his dialogue's not going to change at all as a result. Yeah, so rather than just read this all over again like before, I'm just going to reflect real quick a little bit. Yeah, I feel like a horrible person right now, subjecting them to all that, but it was for the sake of knowing. You guys got to see this, so hopefully you won't have to for yourselves. And there might be some worse endings out there, but if so, I'm not gonna know. I can't bring myself to do this again. I know they're fictional, but it doesn't feel very good. So after everything we've been through, and then I get them killed purposefully and see what happens to them. I mean, Hayne is more or less in hell. Lester's become a shadow of his former self. Aaron died. Scott's a wimp now for some reason. Liana got hitched to some terrible, terrible human being. Klarna could only save a handful of people. Jessica really didn't get it that bad. Keith, well yeah, Keith got it pretty bad too, actually, I forgot about him. So yeah, and so it all became legend. Yeah, man. Oh boy. But on the bright side, we're done with all that nastiness. The next bonus video, we're going to be showing off some alternate classes for all the characters. It's going to be a pretty lengthy one, I'm guessing. It's going to be very little commentary, if any, for that one. And then following that up, we only have one more bonus video, and then this series is completely concluded, finally. So until then, have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me, and see you soon.